Hello and welcome to iHCFA's demo of our demo and our user interface. We are a medical billing clearinghouse that specializes in the processing of workers' comp and no-fault claims electronically, going to electronic carriers, or we can mail to any carriers that don't accept electronic. We send all claim information and the supporting documentation that's required to go with the claims, and get those going to any of the carriers that need to be sent for providers. Our sign-up process is pretty basic. If you need to sign up for an account, you'd be able to go here and fill out information here. This would be an account that you would want someone that's kind of a authorized user or the main user of the account to be generating this information. Just fill out this information. You'd be picking your submission type here and filling out that information. Once you fill this out and review the Business Associates Agreement and the Software User License Agreement by checking the boxes, this signs the documents for you electronically, and then you can either save those or print them out for your records. Once you've initiated the account sign up, there will be a 24-hour period of activation needed. Once the activation is done, you will get secure FTP access to our site. This is how you will transfer the information, the claim information, through the secure FTP. You're also going to get login information so that you can get into our user interface. So I'm going to go into one of our demo accounts right now. This is our iHCFA user interface. We went live in July of 2000, so we've been doing this for a little over 16 years now. And we made our user interface so it's very visual, very user-friendly. You can see here you can view bills, upload bills and documents, business intelligence, organization management, benefits and eligibility, and the help and support. On the left-hand side, you can see how many bills are in incomplete, how many are in missing documents, how many are in bills processing, etc. This would be your dashboard that you'd be paying attention to on a daily basis. If we start out with business intelligence and go into bill reports, this is going to give you an overview of your whole account. So this is numbers that are kind of going to grow exponentially as you're submitting claims, such as the accepted claims here. You want to pay attention to this because this would be claims that have been accepted by the carrier in New York State. We also send on to the Workers' Compensation Board. So these are claims that are not getting lost or you're not having issues with maybe what you're seeing when you're sending claims on paper. Another thing to see here is that we do have reporting tools. So you can follow your last 3 months of claim information that's been sent through, 7 months of charts that are calculating information here, or you can pull in additional reporting here by searching for different things down below. If we go back into the home screen and start with incomplete bills, this will bring you to the section where if there's any bills that have come into our system from your software that are incomplete, they would come into this queue. I'll go over a couple different bill types here to pay attention to. In general, any no-fault claims would go on a 1500 form, and any out of New York State workers' comp claims will go on a 1500 form. So on the 1500, you can see here sections highlighted in red indicate fields that are missing or in error. Under these sections, the specific fields in error will also be highlighted in red. Review the appropriate sections and resubmit your claim for processing. So here what's happening is we're getting the claim data and information imported from your software system into ours. We are scrubbing that information to make sure that everything that needs to be there for this to go out as a clean claim is present. If we find that anything's missing, we would flag this claim. Your account would be notified. You'd come in and make changes on any of the sections that are highlighted in red. If nothing else needs to be changed, once the changes are made, you would save and submit and send it out to the carrier knowing that this would go out as a clean claim. In New York State for workers' comp, there are 3 different specific forms that you need to pay attention to for workers' comp claims. For general providers, you would be using the EC4, which is the electronic version of the C4 that you might be familiar with now. It is broken out into 5 sections. This is a less detailed form than the paper C4, so you want to just pay attention to patient's information. The information that's unique here that would be different from a 1500 is the job title, work activities, patient working or not. And then if you go into the doctor's opinion, you do have 3 yes or no questions, and the percentage of impairment. This information needs to either come populating from your software system, or you would need to come in and manually fill that out. The next New York workers' comp specific form would be the OTPT4, which is for occupational therapists and physical therapists. If we pull this open, you can see, again, we would just be flagging anything that might be incomplete. You would make those changes and save and submit and send it out to the carrier. The last form would be the EC4 AMR. This would be the ancillary medical report. This might be used by radiologists or other providers that are not necessarily seeing the patient firsthand. Again, you would just kind of fill out the patient's information, or in this case, there's billing information that might be missing. Once that's filled out and saved and submitted, you can send it out to the carrier. The last form would be the UB04. This would be the hospital-specific form. Anything that's missing on here would need to be filled out and then saved and submitted and sent to the carrier. All workers' comp and no-fault claims require supporting documentation. Any claims that come into our system that might be missing documents will go into the missing documents queue. Here we have a couple options of documentation and how to get the bill and documents together. The most sophisticated option would be that the provider's billing, practice management, and EMR system all speak to each other and actually electronically match up the bill information with its supporting documentation. This would be entailing a specific naming convention that would happen electronically in the background and get that information into our system, and then we would pass it out to the carrier. If that doesn't happen, we do have various ways of being able to get the documentation going with the claim. Probably the least sophisticated way would be that you would come in and actually browse your desktop and add something as an attachment directly to the claim that's missing documentation. Or if you needed to, you do have a text box here, so you can actually type into the text box. Or if you had to, you can actually copy and paste from a notes section or anywhere in the medical report and paste that in here. Or you actually have the option of pasting screenshots into here as well. We do have, for any clients that may have paper documents that need to get them going electronic, we do have a barcoding method which would help you get that information going in more of a batch format. The barcoding method would be if you hit the select all button, it's going to put a check in the label box here. If you hit print labels and put in standard Avery label template in your printer, what's going to print out here is user-friendly barcodes. User-friendly barcodes meaning that you have the barcode, you can clearly read the patient's name and the claim number. Then what you do is you take this barcode, you put it on the front page of the corresponding medical report, then the next barcode would go on the next medical report, and so on. So here in this example, you have 5 claims that are missing documents. You'd have 5 barcodes, 5 medical reports. You would match up the barcodes to the front page of the corresponding medical reports and then scan that information back into our system. Another method would be our Instadoc upload method. This would be if you have several documents that you're able to save as PDFs. You would browse your desktop and add those documents to this queue and hit upload all files. Then you would go into link Instadoc images to bills. On the left-hand side here, you can see all the PDFs of the medical reports that you just uploaded. On the right-hand side, you have any bills that are missing documents. Then it's just a matter of matching up the PDF with the missing bill, and you can hit select and add that and continue down the list. If you needed to alphabetize this, you can hit this and it will alphabetize that to make it easier for searching. And then at the end, you can save and submit, and it will attach the documents with the bills. If you go into View Bills, and then View Bills again, we do have various ways of being able to search for bill information. You can search by a date range or claim number, bill status, carrier, any different way you want to search. If you go in here, I will search for a particular patient, and I'll pull up claim information here to give you an overview. You can see here that in blue, this means this went out as a clean claim. Claim history and current status will give you an overview of everything that's gone on with this particular claim. So you can see here on April 10th, the claim information was imported into iHCFA. We scrubbed the bill. We realized that data was missing. We came in and notified the account. they came in and made changes, and within 24 hours, they're seeing an acceptance by the insurance company. In New York State, we are also sending on to the New York Work Comp Board for any work comp cases. In that case, if you need to reference anything, you would pay attention to the document ID here for the board in order to pull up that information. We do also get EOB and remittance information back here, so you can view the remittance information for any carriers that submit that back to us. You also, in the case of any New York State Insurance Fund claims, you'll get case manager information passed back. And we do have the option of helping you process the HP1s in New York for non-payment after 45 days. Additional forms will get you the HP1. If you click on that, you'll get the warning to wait the 45 days of non-payment. At that point, this will generate a form for you already filled out from the prior bill information. You do need to have the prior bill and the supporting documents printed out. Print this page out as well and have the doctor sign it with a wet signature, and you're able to send this out on your behalf because of the wet signature requirement. But this does expedite the HP1 process in New York State for non-payment instead of having to manually fill out that form. If you opt to have us mail, we will mail to any carriers that don't accept electronic right now. If that is the case, everything will happen electronically in the background that we just went over. Then you'll see here paper claim forwarded to carrier, and if you hit on the tracking information, you'll see detailed tracking information where you can see where it left and when it was delivered. You'll have the USPS logo here so you can follow up with any information that you need to. This would hold up in court or as a legal document because of the postal system and the information here. We also store the tracking information. So if the postal system is recycling tracking data after a period of time, you'd be able to still access it here 2 to 3 years down the road or however long you need it. If we go back in, organization management is going to be where you would go in and add providers. You have your add service location tab where you can put in your service locations. Add and edit users is going to get you in where you can add your users. You can give them specific email or access to the account based on their activity and how you would like them to be involved with the account. And edit payment information would be where you enter your credit card information or your EFT. Benefits and eligibility, we do get some benefits and eligibility back from carriers. If you have the Social Security number in this example, you can search and you're able to pull up to verify the correct claim number, the correct date of loss, and any other information that's provided by that particular carrier. So this is just a way of being able to cross-reference the information to make sure that you have it correct. Help and support gets you directly to our help desk. If you have any questions and need to ask anything while you're in working claims, you can type out the information here, send it out. You'll either get an email or a phone call back with answers to your questions. When you're in working claims, do pay attention to the tutorial section so you can see if you have any questions. Some of the tutorials might cover the information that you have questions on. The admin tab would be where you can, also come in and add providers, add service locations, edit users, your organization setup, etc. So that's finalizing the overview of our user interface. If you have any questions, you can feel free to either ask at the end of this demo or send out an email or give us a call with any further questions. Thank you.